Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire. So last episode was a rather spicy one with a near-death ending, where Leth managed to pop on out of my lockdown zone and get herself considerably chewed up by big things. So obviously I am going to need to make another bionic arm, which I already have queued, but the jetpack saved me. But that was right at the end. During the middle parts, we had mechs and big things going head to head. I had big things outside my base and mechs coming into the base. It was a big old mess, but quite a lot of fun. I'm going to be waiting for these big things to leave. They do have a valid path out where this Lancer has died and propped the door open. So we'll get this this big thing parade sort of moved away from my base once they're done. And I do hope to be able to change my door layouts so that I can more quickly and easily modify sort of the positions of the doors so I can slam them shut when needed. All right, looks to me like Raptor and Leth immediately got up, and that's actually not what I wanted to do, because Leth is still bleeding to death, and the longer I wait, the more blood loss. So let's tend and finish tending. Now I am hoping that these big things don't find their way into my deadfall traps, because it's not worth the steal, considering that they are manhunted and they are Scuria rotted or Scuria infected. They are far more likely to just instant rot. So I wouldn't actually make a whole lot of meat if I led them into deadfall traps. So it is the 5th of spring, and given that information, I am likely to be warming up to the point where things are going to start rotting. Another thing I'm going to need to do is to roof up my beacon here, because that beacon was unroofed. And after having done my trade, roof it back up so that I don't end up getting pod droppers on my head. Now, with that said, I have had a lot of targeted drop raids on me recently. I'm not so keen on that. It's chance, of course. It's a chance for that to happen, but it's not cool when it does. So Leth here has been patched up, is no longer bleeding. Never actually lost consciousness. She just nearly died, almost had her leg ripped off, etc. Pretty brutal. Lessons to be learned. I'm going to have her use her jetpack to just get to a hospital bed to shorten the climb back. It almost would be better if she did just pass out and I could have someone carry her to a hospital bed, but she's stubborn and wants to do it herself. So hats off to her. She's a tough cookie. All right, so we do have some of these big things that have been crushed and stabbed by the mechanoids, and with any luck they'll pass out and die and not be rotted. I do need to crank out another batch of nutrient paste, keeping in mind, of course, that this inventory here is 6x6 360 meals. I'm really hoping it doesn't spoil. Really hoping it doesn't spoil. But if I say that out loud too insistently, I'm going to end up with a scenario where Randy Random's gonna strike again and hit me with a solar flare and ruin everything, as he likes to do. So JD is finishing up that arm, and I bet I have that arm installed and the anesthesia already cleared from the body before Leth even is fully healed. Now, these hospital beds do heal you quickly, but not quite that quickly without a healing enhancer, so. Yeah, all right, so one didn't instant rot, but the other one did. There's a lot more out there, but in my opinion, they're just not worth me fighting, because they're very fast and they do a lot of damage, as Leth found out the hard way. I am going to be hooking up the ground penetrating scanner in hopes that Raptor, once Raptor, well, already has all the psi focus. So in the hopes that Raptor is able to find us some buried gold or plasteel or uranium or something precious and useful. But before that, I'm definitely going to want to crank out some additional simple meals because I'm out. In fact, the next person that goes for a meal should be, you know, the one to cook up all the nutrient paste. It's like a threat. He who eats next. All right, Leth got an infection. A left hand infection. You know what? I don't even care. I know that seems callous, but that whole left hand, she's gonna have it cut off in a second. Because as soon as I install this bionic arm, that left hand infection is really not an issue anymore. So here's what I'm gonna do. Here's the arm. I'm gonna have Raptor tend to that wound without meds, because if I don't, when I try to do the operation, I'm going to tend the wounds first, and I'll probably tend with, I would end up tending with industrial meds. So here we go. Up here, we are going to want plasteel, or plasteel. We're gonna, no, don't build a plasteel monument. We're gonna want a steel monument. And currently, everybody is on a stay inside restriction. So what I'm going to do is to update stay inside so that stay inside will be allowed to travel to that monument and get that built. Now, one of the advantages of this monument up here is that, and maybe grab the slag. One of the advantages of the monument is the condition that happens if this monument is damaged in any way. Is that more beak things spawn, which honestly I could use to my advantage and trigger them purposefully, where I can, you know, use them to my advantage. So restricted animal hauling is going to be updated to allow them up there as well. But restricted animal hauling is going to be updated not to allow my animals over here. It does look like these beak things are starting to migrate away, as manhunters don't stay around forever. So now we're down to just a few. But that is the nastiest, messiest kill box thing I've ever seen. It is disgusting. It is just the worst. Okay, here's the operation. So left arm bionic. Raptor operates. Yeah, as you're able to see, they are slowly moving away and out. Now, the animals here are going to be allowed to haul steel up there for me, if they so choose. But Gabe is already doing it. And soon, Leth won't even have an infection. Of all the places to get an infection, the left hand was the perfect one because it's being replaced entirely. And boom. Raptor is no longer inspired with surgery. I honestly could have done it with JD as well. JD had a surgery inspiration that I could have used up had I thought of that ahead of time. I probably should have used that up. And we're already started on this monument. So this is the... To remind you all, this is the imposing monument. I have 38 days to build it. I'm going for goodwill because my reputation with the royal party here is lower than I'd want it to be. I'd love to be able to call them in for trade caravans and the like. The trouble is that their colonies are outside of pod range, so it's very difficult to gift them. And I apologize for generating planet. It's very difficult to gift them anything because it's just simply too far away for me to send. I can really only gift to the machinists and the rubble farmers. Everybody else is out of my range. Phoenix, why are you here? Oh, Ferberus Mechanites. That's unfortunate. I remember that now. Okay, we are down to just a few beak things. Now, of course, I could turn on my turrets and light these guys up, but they're not even really worth the steel. It's not like I have a lack of foul meat. JD, I'm going to pick on you. I apologize. You don't deserve this, but you're going to help me nutrient paste my supply. We do have 260 foul meat left to be processed, and I should do it before it gets too warm. We're in a volcanic winter heat wave, so the temperature really doesn't know what it wants to be, which is, to me, absolutely hilarious. Those two probably cancel each other out pretty well, giving me just sort of normal as a result, which I just find funny. Okay, that is the last of the meals. Let's set JD back to simple and start hauling these away. Whoa. Hauling these away. Bash is going to help because it's negative 54C right now. But in my experience, given how rapid and violent the temperature shifts in this mod, 54C... Yeah, it's negative 39. It changes very, very, very quickly, in other words. And then, oh, the heat wave is over, so now it's colder? I don't know. It's the temperature is crazy. Glitch is helping to move the steel up here. We also have steel that was mined out up here. So another thing I might be able to do is the stand side zone, which is a weird way of using the stand side zone, is going to include this this node for steel so that I can mine, because this area here is safe from the beak things. The beak things can't get here because I installed a door in this spot, and this cave doesn't connect to this cave system, so it's isolated and purposefully, I guess. Now, I'm not incorporating fire breaks into this wall yet, into this area. I don't think I'm going to invest too much time, honestly. I don't think it's worth investing in, but... Pretty soon here, we're going to be ditching our winter clothing in lieu of summer clothing. Although it's hard to tell, because this new volcanic winter does change things up a bit. So I'm not exactly sure when that changeover will be. So the old stay fortified zone looks still fine. What I need to do is I need to just... I didn't want to redesign this zone, so I'm just waiting until the beak things leave. And they're still hanging around, so... Leth is no longer capable of walking. That's good. The wooziness has subsided. She's been anesthetized for most of her recovery so far, which is probably a godsend considering the level of pain that she was in. And we are almost done with this, well, 3/4 done with this little monument. Pretty simple little monument. Look at them bouncing around everywhere. I'm just glad they haven't tripped too many of my traps. I mean, all the traps that were guarding these turrets are gone, and then one of the turrets themselves, which was uranium, so I should replace this with plasteel, is gone. But I think the rest of these beak things here are leaving. They are departing, which is great, because screw the beak things. they're so... If you think I've designed them to be hard here in the RimWorld conversion mod, The beak things, honestly, are so very much worse in Kenshi, especially to new players. Beak things are just ridiculously strong in deep vanilla Kenshi. Yeah, so here they go. This is the mass exodus of the beak things. And soon I'll be able to reclaim my base. Albeit added several thousand gallons of insect blood, or bug blood, of beak things, which is disgusting. And but I'm glad to have them gone. I'll also be able to shred some of the mechs that got destroyed here, and the other sort of base maintenance. But I don't dare open my doors, even though I'm 100% sure these guys are leaving. I don't want to open my doors until they're actually gone for good. I don't have that level of trust in my characters not to pick a fight they can't win. So we almost have the walls and doors done. I don't know why I have not been getting monuments that require no flooring. Like, I do find it interesting that the monuments that I've been instructed to build are just like walls only. I'm absolutely pleased by that, but I'm not sure why that is the case. So this is the only beak thing left, and well, it's unconscious, so I don't fear it. What I'm doing is just zooming out to 35,000 feet and setting up my scheduling and all that so that we can finish this one off and continue on with our hunt. So I'm having Hippie deal with that one. And for animals here, I'm going to do unrestricted hauling. So my gorillas are going to be allowed to go anywhere they want, because there's nowhere really unsafe anymore. Bashir is going to work on retrofitting this door so that I can slam it shut for when I have manhunters. And having it be able to be closed on either side. In fact, I am going to redesign this as well, despite the expense, so that it's easier to shut. I'll get 2/3 of, or 3/4 of the materials back, which is fine. I'm not going to stockpile any more steel up there. Okay, I clearly have some more beak things to butcher before it gets too warm. And I'm going to have JD crank through these mechs. My steel was a little low, and shredding mechs is one quick way to regain some. Okay. Hippie, I'm going to fix these doors with you. There. So now the correct doors are open. And there's still a ship chunk for me to break down for its components and material. There's a few Reapers up here. There's also random components too, from the mech cluster parts. Oh, there's a bunch of Reapers actually. That might warrant Raptor to go up there and bring the butchery table. So I think what I'm going to do is forbid these Reapers and just do a butchery of them. Bring the butcher table out to them. It will be cheaper and quicker, and require my guys to see fewer corpses, which is helpful as well. All right. Leth, how is your armor? Your pants got beat up a little bit, but that's about it. Okay, not too bad. Although I gotta say, the Devil Strand is not a material I can replace often. So that's too bad that Devil Strand pants got chewed up a bit. All right. Raptor. After you eat that meal, I'm going to have you butcher some of the big things. Now, there's some foul meat, as you can see, as a result. But given the size of the big things, it's not a whole lot of foul meat for how large they are. And that was done intentionally. Big things are mostly hate. There's not a lot of meat involved. All right, next person to eat a meal makes Gabe. That would be you. Next person to eat a meal, I was going to say makes the nutrient paste. Gabe's like, darn it. At least I'll do it fast. I think someone else is, oh, Hippie was queued up to move the nutrient paste and cause Gabe not to be able to finish up. Okay, there we go. Done. And back to simple meals. JD is no longer inspired for surgery. I'm not going to re-inspire with Raptor right now, because I want Raptor to spend some time on the ground penetrating radar now that it is more tempered out, where it's easier to either heat or cool the base, because during the extreme summers and winters, I can't really keep the doors open like that. But I think Raptor first is going to be sent up here to clear the Reaper bodies. Because he's the only one, well, A, he can butcher, and B, their corpses are ugly. It's warm enough that I don't think he's going to have any hypothermia issues. It's -46. He's protected up to -33. That's close enough to his comfort, I think, for it not to matter. They also dropped some bio-coated weapons. And the monument is done. If it's destroyed, here, Hippie, just haul this steel. If it's damaged in any way, what ends up happening is, oh, JD, you already took that body. Here, JD, you haul the components. If it's damaged in any way, I have a bunch of beak things that spawn, and honestly, knowing me, I'm almost certainly going to weaponize that to my advantage, because that sounds weaponizable. And I do believe that is the last Reaper body on the map. And I am given, ooh, for a neuroformer, you say? Oh boy. So Boss Simeon, chief of the Rebel Farmers, has sent us a message. It's a site guarded by 13 skeletons. Asked us to destroy the camp with its turrets and all, and will give us a neuroformer, which would bring Hippie up from level 5 to level 6. Or level 4 to level 5, because, you know, I can math. That is incredibly desirable. I've decided to not have everybody get royal titles, only Raptor will. Even though everybody technically can ascend with honor, I'm only going to have Raptor for balance reasons. But if I could get Hippie to level 5, that would be significantly excellent. Another thing I want to do is prop one of these doors, maybe this one, open, and this door as well. So that if people do land in this area, they aren't forced to bash a wall down to get free. They can just walk out here and not have to set things on fire. How long do I have to decide? Expires in 6.8 days. So the temperature for me to assault a base like this, it's not going to get any better in a few days. In a few days, it will be the best possible temperature. So I'm going to wait on here just in case some crazy event happens where, like, I am not going to be capable of going out to the camp. But I am very likely to accept for the Neurofarmer because that sounds terrific. It would be really good if Raptor, you would start ground penetrating scanning, because I need that. So 450 nutrient paste meals. That is one giant bounty. Thank you, insects. Now, I'm not really efficiently hauling this material from this mech cluster away. I've noticed my guys getting like one chunk and walking. I could micromanage them to be a little bit more efficient, but I'm sort of okay with this. I mean, I'm not really okay with it, but whatever. It is the way it is. They will... I'm not going to micromanage a caravan or anything like that. Not in this instance. There's not enough work that needs doing to warrant that kind of level of micromanagement. I'll just have them haul. And try to combine the hauls if I can. Wait, why are you hauling some of that north and some... What are you doing, Gabe? There we go. I don't know. Pawn intelligence is, it's confusing. It is confusing. Now, if I am going to be attacking a camp, another thing that I need to think about is how many pods that I might need to get myself out there. Because I don't believe that this is not the Royal faction asking where they would send me a shuttle. I have to go travel out there myself. If the Royals ask you, they will send a shuttle to you, and it's a different kind of quest. Oh, Leth is healed. Good. But in this case, there is no shuttle. Okay, I'm taking everybody off of super hauling now, so that they can start doing other tasks. I did want to... Oh, an Inspire Tim. I did want to gather as much resources as I could from this cluster, and pretty much I have already done that. Most of the resources I've sort of gathered up. An Inspire Team doesn't help when there's no wild animals almost ever. That's cool. So all these deadfall traps are repaired or replaced. The fire foam has decayed, so there's no reason why I don't add this stuff back to home zone. And then I'm going to want to remove, for my own sanity and cleaning requirements, remove as much of this from home zone as possible. Yes, I mean, I do no, there's a cable here. I do realize that it looks disgusting, but it doesn't make sense for Hippie to spend the next lifetime cleaning it up. I'll leave that to the Viscera cleanup team, who should be here eventually. I'm joking, of course. The Viscera cleanup team would be just rainfall. Which happens once, never. Okay, I do want to build this, though. I'm going to sort of encourage force this door here because I have... Oh, Bash, don't be doing that. I have some vulnerabilities until this is fixed. I mean, there is no valid path through these doors down here, but I don't want to... You know what? Let's have it all be steel. I'm out of steel. That would be expensive then. Yeah, I don't want to have these massive vulnerabilities until, you know, just sitting here waiting for my base to be plundered. Okay, we're almost not... We're warming up to soon require air conditioners everywhere. Just fine. I'm prepared for that. And... Are my miners... I want my miners to start mining terrestrial steel soon. Alright. I'm going to, by default, leave this door open. And leave this door open. So that if I do have sappers, they sort of kill themselves. Or some of them do, until the traps are all used up. So Leth, I need you to pop this door open. And then if traditional raids that are not sappers come in, I can close this door here and force the traditional raid to enter the traditional way. How much herbal do I have? I have a pretty good amount of herbal now. I have 46. So I'll keep growing a little bit more. But we're looking pretty good there. At this point, it's warming up enough that I'll start removing the chimneys. It's not going to do significant cooling damage to the base or anything like that. Just preps for when I want air conditioning. As you can see, the temperature of my farm is not ruined or anything like that. Oh, I guess we butchered another big thing or something. I'm not really sure, but I do see that I have a few more fowl meat. And Raptor is now manning the, well, was briefly the ground penetrating scanner. Hippie is trying to clean up, which is good, I guess, to a degree. I want some of the areas that, like this area in here, and in fact, this area should be turned off. But some of this area where we stand, where we defend ourselves, to be cleaned up. Royals in the crosshair. Oh, all right. So 2 mech clusters deploy nearby. I must keep the mood of the Imperials above 35%. If it's above 50%, I will gain goodwill. For me to host 2 court allies, they are targeted for death. And they will give me an excellent persona blade with a Psi Meditative. So Psi Meditative, this weapon's persona is naturally meditative and helps the wielder focus in psychic meditation. The wielder gains an extra 10% Psi focus per day of meditation as long as the weapon is held. That is insanely good. The problem is my Psi-caster is Hippie or Raptor, neither of which are brawlers. And, well, needless to say, Bash and Phoenix, they don't really have what it takes right now. So that's an insanely good reward. A Harmonizer I probably wouldn't want to use unless someone was always happy. But that's a lot of plasteel. Holy moly. So, 2 court allies targeted for death, needs a safe place. So I need, do I need to keep the ally alive? So the thing is, I am required to have like a royal bed for the court ally. I'm gonna attempt to do this. I have 4.6 days to attempt it. Mech clusters can be really nasty, but the amount of plasteel that they're willing to give me is ridiculous, and might warrant the effort. But that would mean that I should get, let's see, I would need a cloth drape. I would need this bedroom here. Gabe and Leth would have to be displaced briefly. And then I would want a steel end table, steel dresser, and another royal bed. So I'll queue that up. Oh, more chitin. In fact, I should grab the other stuff now. Oh, I do. 44. So I have enough to make a pair of pants. That would be some banging pants. That's all I'm going to say. I almost have enough for a shirt, but not quite. Button-down shirt, let's make one out of... Because button-down shirt's 45 out of pack bowl leather. Cloth drapes don't have quality, but anything that does have quality should be made by Bash. Oh, there goes your shirt. Bash already started. Perfect. And if this royal bed here is better than Raptor's, I can have Raptor use the better one. Because, to put it bluntly, I don't really care. The quality of the bed, it just needs to be gold. It needs to be the royal gold. So over here, this is all set up. One thing I could do, I suppose, is dump corpses here. So allow rotted corpses so as to clean up the remaining mechs, or big things. And here is the amazing pants. This, I'm going to have Bash forcewear because it is, if we take a look here, the good, even though they're good quality, they're 42% sharp compared to like 18. And it makes sense for a brawler to use it. All right, Gabe's closing that door. That would have been really dangerous for me to have propped open. Let me make sure I don't have any other stupid doors propped open. I think that's the last one that doesn't make any sense. But we're piling up all the beat corpses so that we can easily incinerate them all. Oh, did you no, you didn't finish. Don't eat out there. This room is, I think, going to become a replacement bedroom. And there's the button-down shirt. I haven't actually taken stock of my spare clothing. I've just been cranking out the like specialty clothing, but it looks like I have one spare shirt right now and 2 spare pants. So it wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to make more. So let's do that. Bone dog leather for both. Get to it, Mr. JD, and I appreciate it. Okay, so bone dog leather, if you're curious, the quality differences, bone dog leather has a sharp of 102. It's not quite as good as Gorillo. Gorillo is higher at 112. They're pretty comparable to one another, but one is technically just a wee bit better. Okay, Bash, you've been working so hard on this bed. I am not going to... Oh, Phoenix, don't finish that. I'm not going to have... Okay, found steel. Unfortunate. It's only good quality. Bummer. Okay, next person to go for a meal gets to make NPM. I thought it was going to be Bash. It looked like it was going to be Bash, and he fooled me. All right, Bash, despite Gabe sleeping, sorry, Gabe, I'm going to get in here and fix this up. Oh, you know, it also is going to need royal flooring. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to give them Raptor's bedroom temporarily and have Raptor just dissatisfied with his own bed. I probably should have done that ahead of time, like already, but oh well, it's a little late for that. Because I just realized that there's just no way I'm going to manage to do fine floors everywhere. So now, let's see. This quest, I need a free bedroom that satisfy the requirements of Count Raptor. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, this got more expensive than I thought. Foo. Well. I still want to do it because it's so rewarding. So it needs to be 30 tiles, right? So 5 by 6 or something. So this bedroom is one larger than it needs to be. So I'm going to shrink this bedroom down. And we're going to have here, Raptor, you can have your own old bedroom back. I'm going to have to fine floor it. I did just buy an enormous amount of marble, so it hurts me, but oh my god. All right, 600 of my marble immediately dumped. And then I'm going to move this wall over. Well, I'm glad I bought the marble, I guess. It's going to be a nice bedroom when it's done. And let's give Gabe and Leth the other one. Okay. 2 crazy quests back to back. I'm game. I'm down. Count me in. I'm gonna put a little bit of paved tile there just to make it look decent. There. Because it doesn't need paved tile. And the doorways don't count, but it looks a little weird without there being some sort of pavement there or something. Why is Phoenix not... Oh, he's sleeping. Okay. Wondering why I wasn't helping. Who's going for a meal? More steel scanned. That is a bummer. At least we're scanning quickly. But obviously steel is not what I need right now. Although, considering the mechs that are coming, it would not be a terrible idea for me to actually stockpile up on additional steel. Because I'm sure my turrets are going to have to be fired quite a lot if it's 2 mech clusters coming. There's no doubt about that. So, Gabe and Leth, get going on that. JD is making all the extra clothing, or sleeping. I'm going to start to shut off heaters, as we're not going to need them as it is getting warmer. It's almost not freezing it out, just 18 more degrees Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit. All right, Leth is mining now. Gabe is cleaning. No, Gabe should be mining. And yeah, okay, there we go. Hippie will clean. I feel bad for Hippie. She does not deserve the treatment she gets. She just isn't... she's not uniquely skilled. She has skill in shooting and art. And, well, there's only really so much art we need to do. So as a net result, she's stuck cleaning a bunch. I don't treat... it's not like I'm treating her worse. She's actually getting her own bedroom and, you know, but there's just... I don't have the type of raw resources to do a whole lot of art. So the shirts and pants are done. That's great. Having that kind of backup. Now, I will be able to trigger the beak things to help with one of the mech clusters, or maybe both. Maybe both. I'm going to try to do that. But, my friends, I am out of time for this episode. So, a lot on the horizon. We have 2 potential quests on the horizon that are both difficult and spicy. I cannot wait to sink my teeth into them. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll catch you all next episode. Farewell, friends.